Good morning, everybody. I'm here to read the next chapter, chapter 14 and chapter 15 of Crindle Cracks. And yesterday, at the end of chapter 13, we found out that Corky, the caretaker, was actually a very interesting character. He used to work in the sewers, and he says he was the one that found Crindle Cracks. Now, we don't know what Crindle Cracks is yet, but he says that the crindle cracks is the reason that there are bumps in the road and that there are loud bangs sometimes. So let's find out what happened to Corky and all about these crindle cracks. Chapter 14. Ruskin shivered so violently he nearly dropped his cup. "Are you cold, my dear boy?" asked Corky. "No, I just—" "More tea?" asked Corky. "No," Ruskin said. "Are you ill?" "Just finish your story," cried Ruskin, in the closest his squeaky whisper of a voice could get to a shout. "Tell me about Crindle Cracks." Corky took a deep breath. "One day," Corky said, "I was underground when I heard a noise like I'd never heard before, a sort of crying sound. Eek! Went the noise. I looked all around. My torch beam cut through the darkness, and there on the ledge beside the trickling water, I saw something move. It was about the size of a shoe and bright green and had sharp teeth. It was eating a slice of toast." "What was it?" Ruskin asked, staring at Corky and clutching the edge of his seat. "A baby crocodile, my dear boy," Corky replied. "But how did it get there?" "Well, I never found that out, but there it was, bright green and munching toast. There was marmalade on the toast, and orange rind was stuck between the crocodile's teeth. There was something, so enticing about the tiny creature. I wanted to touch it, so I stepped forward. My feet went splash in the water, and the light from my torch shone in the animal's eyes, making them bright red." "Were you scared?" Ruskin asked. "No, my dear boy. I just wanted to get closer to the crocodile, to feel its skin." Corky licked a chocolate biscuit for a while, then continued. "Slowly, I reached out. I could feel the crocodile's warm breath on my fingertips. And then, suddenly, the crocodile snapped its jaws shut. I managed to get my finger out of the way just in time. Clack went the jaws, like two bits of metal clanging together. I took a step back, slipped, and fell into the water. The water went up my nose and into my ears and made me cough and splutter. But I didn't have time to cough and splutter for long." "Why, Corky?" Ruskin asked. "Because the crocodile was already chasing after me," Corky replied. "I ran down the tunnel. The crocodile was very fast. I could hear its cracking jaws and the swish of its tail. I ran through the dirty water, hardly looking where I was going. I started to panic. For a moment I thought I was lost and would never find the ladder that led up to the surface again. 'Help!' I called. 'Help me, someone!' My voice echoed all around me, but no help came. No one could hear me. I was underground, my dear boy, and no living thing could hear me, except the crocodile," Ruskin interrupted. "Exactly," Corky said, "except the crocodile. But suddenly I saw the ladder. I grabbed it and I started to climb. I was halfway up when I felt a terrible pain in my knee." Corky touched his leg with the one with the limp. I looked down and saw the crocodile biting my knee. I shook my leg frantically, but he wouldn't let go. Its tiny jaws were clenched tight. Deeper and deeper its teeth went into my skin. I was yelling out. Finally, I hit the crocodile as hard as I could. It let go and fell back into the watery darkness. I heard it go splash. Corky poured himself another cup of tea. "Oh, thirsty work, this storytelling." "So that's how you got your limp," Ruskin said. "Exactly, my dear boy," Corky said. "I went to hospital and a doctor put a bandage around my knee and told me I'd be all right. But I wasn't. The crocodile had bitten through a tendon or something, and I had to use a walking stick. Corky picked up the packet of biscuits and looked inside. Only one left. Do you want it, my dear boy? No, you can have it, Ruskin replied. You sure? I wouldn't want to cheat you out of the share of a delicious chocolate. I'm sure, Corky. Just tell me. You were being chased by the baby crocodile. Is that why you left your job in the sewers and became a caretaker instead? In a way, Corky replied, licking the biscuit. But, well, there's still more to tell. Oh, what, Corky, what? Chapter 15. Well, I stopped going into the sewers, true, Corky continued, but I still worked for the same firm. They gave me a job in an office instead. I stayed there for, several years. And then one day a worker went sick and they needed someone to go underground in his place to check a few leaks and rusty pipes. And you were the one who went, Ruskin said. That's right, Corky said, his tongue covered with chocolate. I put my helmet on, this very helmet with its torch, and went down into the darkness again. And you saw the crocodile again, suggested Ruskin. Oh, not at first, Corky said. At first I didn't even think about it. I just concentrated on walking through the water without slipping over. And then I heard it. What? A roar. A roar like I'd never heard before. Like a million car tyres screeching all at once. It made my bones shake. Were you scared? Ruskin asked. Very. Because you knew what it was. That's right, my dear boy, Corky said, licking the last of the chocolate from the biscuit and throwing it away. I knew that for all those years the baby crocodile had been drinking in the dirty water and eating the remains of food. I knew that it had been growing and growing. And I knew something else. I knew that biting my knee had given it a taste for my blood. I knew that it had been growing and waiting for me to return so it could finish me off once and for all. Ruskin leaned forward and squeezed Corky's hand. What did you do? Ruskin asked, eyes wide. Well, I didn't panic, my dear boy, Corky replied. That's the worst thing to do. Never panic. So, slowly and calmly, I turned around and limped towards the ladder. I tried to be as quiet as possible. The splashing of my feet in the water sounded so loud to me. And then I heard it again. The terrible roar. I knew the crocodile was getting closer. Although it wasn't just crocodile anymore, was it, Corky? Ruskin said. It had got another name. It was Crindlecrack, Corky said. I just knew that was its name. The roar of Crindlecracks filled my ears. I saw the ladder and reached out. I could hear splashing coming towards me. I knew Crindlecracks was getting closer and closer. I ran up the ladder, and in those last few moments, I glanced down to see what was chasing after me. What did it look like? Ruskin asked. Huge and dark, Corky replied, with pointed claws and sharp teeth and breath as hot as fire. It was the most terrible thing I had ever seen. Corky leaned back and took his helmet off. When I got home that evening, he said, I saw that all my hair had turned white. The sight of Crindlecracks had drained the colour from me. Chapter 16. So, you left your job, right, Corky? Ruskin asked. Corky nodded, saying, Yes, I left, my dear boy. I got a job at St. George's School, where you and I became friends, so I can't complain too much. Ruskin smiled. But I'll tell you something, Corky continued. Some nights I know that Crindlecracks comes up through the largest drain in Lizard Street. I know it comes up and searches for me. And I should tell you how I know? How? Ruskin asked. Because its heavy tail cracks the pavement, and its fiery breath scorches the brick marks, and its claws puts bumps and holes in the road. That's how I know. But it's never found you, Ruskin said nervously. No, Corky replied, wrapping the old newspaper around the tin helmet, and it never will. Oh, don't let it, Ruskin cried, getting to his friend and hugging Corky. Don't let it get you. You're the only friend I've got. There they are, hugging. There, my dear boy, Corky said, holding Ruskin very tight. Don't upset yourself. I'll never let Crindlecracks get me. I bolt all my doors and lock my windows and tuck myself in tight when I go to bed. I'm as safe as houses. If I ever see Crindlecracks, Ruskin said, I'll tame him, so you'll be safe forever. None of us is safe forever, Corky said. We can only be safe for little whiles at a time. Ruskin was still clutching Corky's golden medal in his hand. I'm still curious about this, Ruskin said. Tell me why you got the medal. Not now, Corky said. That's enough stories for one night. Is it anything to do with Crindlecracks? Ruskin asked. No, Corky replied. Is it anything? Began Ruskin. It doesn't matter, interrupted Corky. Now you get yourself home, my dear boy. Your mum and dad will be worried. Oh, there we go. That's the end of chapter 16. So tomorrow we will start on chapter 17. And we know a little bit more about Crindlecracks now. And in my opinion, I think he sounds very scary. And I'm going to make a prediction that Corky is not safe. I don't think so. I think Crindlecracks will find him eventually. But who knows? Let's tune in tomorrow and find out. Bye, everybody.